Hello friends, this video on capacitors and capacitance part 15 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 14 before going ahead with part 15. Now we will talk about different combinations of capacitors. You remember in the very first introduction page, I told you where do you normally find capacitors around you. You find it in different kind of circuits. In your electronic devices, when you look at their circuits, you find various capacitors arranged there. So do you think that we just randomly arrange capacitor, we put a capacitor wherever we like? It is not like that, right? So in order to arrange the capacitor in a circuit, there has to be a certain pattern in which we will arrange them, right? So there are different ways capacitors can be combined. In fact, there are basically two ways in which capacitors can be combined. They can be either combined in series or they can be combined in parallel, right? So sometimes you arrange capacitors in series, sometimes you arrange them in parallel. So what is the series and parallel combination? I will talk about them. So now from here on we are going to study about how do we arrange capacitors to form circuits, because that is what is the practical application of capacitors. Till now we studied about the internal structure of capacitor, how does a single capacitor work. Now we will see how do we use multiple capacitors together in a circuit. Okay, so let us start with capacitors in series. What do I mean when I say capacitors arranged in series? That means multiple capacitors are arranged in such a way that the charge is of same magnitude on each of the capacitor. So charge will be same on each of the capacitors. So when we say that there are 10 capacitors arranged in series, we mean that the charge on each of those 10 capacitors is the same. So they will be arranged somewhat like this. You remember the circuit symbol for capacitor? I told you in the first slide, right? This is how we represent a capacitor. So this is one capacitor. Let us call it as C1. Let us suppose the capacitance of this capacitor is C1. Capacitance is C2, capacitance is C3. However, the charge on each of them is the same. Let us suppose this is a source of battery which is providing the charge. Say it provides plus Q charge on this plate. So there will be minus Q on this plate. As a result, plus Q on this plate, minus Q on this plate, plus Q on this plate, minus Q on this plate. Right? So this is how charge gets distributed. So when I say minus Q, plus Q, minus Q, plus Q, and so on. That means the same amount of charge is getting stored in each of these capacitors. However, you can see, as I told, that the capacitance is different for each of them. So that means the voltage across each of them is also different. The potential difference across each of the capacitor is also different. So let us say that the potential difference between these two plates is V1. The potential difference between the plates of this capacitor is V2. Similarly, the potential difference between the plates of this capacitor is V3. Okay, and let us suppose this is my voltage source which supplies a voltage V. That is the net voltage for this circuit is V. So what would be the net voltage for this circuit? Net voltage will be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. That is potential difference across the first capacitor plus the potential difference across the second capacitor plus the potential difference across the third capacitor. So what can we write? V1, we already know that Q is equal to CV, right? So V1 can be written as charge on the first capacitor, that is Q, divided by the capacitance of the first capacitor. Similarly, V2 will be Q divided by C2. Similarly, V3 will be Q divided by C3. And what is this V? V is nothing but the charge on this circuit, which is again Q, because the charge on this entire circuit. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. When I talk about V means the potential difference across the entire circuit. So at that time, we do not, many of you might be thinking, why don't we say it is 3Q, Q plus Q plus Q? We do not do it like that because we always consider the net charge on each of the capacitor because they are all connected in a series. So net charge Q is there across a potential difference of V. So we will consider Q. Q divided by what will be C? C will be the net capacitance of these three capacitors. We call this equivalent capacitance of the circuit. That means the net capacitance. I do not know what is the net capacitance of the circuit. Right? So from this we can say that all this Q will get cancelled and we get 1 by C equivalent is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. So this is how we can calculate the equivalent capacitance of capacitors which are connected in series. So if there are capacitors which are connected in series means such that the charge on each of them is the same and the potential difference across each of them is different. So in that case, this is how we can calculate the equivalent capacitance of the circuit, right? So we say that equivalent capacitance for a series combination 1 by Cs is given by 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 till Cn. So that means it is somewhat like this. For example, let us suppose you have a circuit like this. You have a circuit with 4 capacitors in series. They are connected to a voltage source. This is the source of voltage, right? Now let us suppose if this is C1, this is C2, this is C3, this is C4. Now using these 4 are in series, so let us suppose we calculated equivalent capacitance of the circuit. So we can say that this equivalent capacitance is a substitute of all these 4 capacitance. So we can write it, we can show it diagrammatically like this. The equivalent capacitance of these 4 capacitors is nothing but a replacement of these 4 capacitors. To make calculations simple or to design it makes easier to design circuits, because when you design the circuit of your motherboard or very complicated electronic devices, you have thousands and thousands of capacitors and resistors and so many other elements. So at that time, this kind of calculation makes things simple. If you need a certain value of capacitance, you can combine some 6 or 7 capacitors and get that value by arranging them in series or in parallel, right? So this is what is capacitors arranged in series. Now let us look at the capacitors in parallel. What do we mean by parallel combination? Capacitors are said to be in parallel combination if the potential difference is same across each of the capacitors. See, there are two things in case of a capacitor. One is capacitance. Other than that, you have charge on the capacitor and the potential difference across the capacitor. These are the 3 measurable quantities for a capacitor, right? Now, if your charge is same, your potential difference has to be different so that your capacitance is different. If charge and potential difference both are same, then your capacitance will also be the same. In this case, in the previous case, that is in series combination, we see that the charge on each of the capacitor was same. In parallel combination, the potential difference across each of the capacitor will be the same. So their charge will be different. So the arrangement will look somewhat like this. Let us suppose this is a source of voltage. This is your C1, this is your C2 and this is your C3. These are the 3 capacitors. Now the question here it says that the potential difference across each of them is the same. Let us suppose they all have plus Q, plus Q, plus Q, because they are all connected with the positive of this battery. They all have minus Q and minus Q. But the charge on all of them are different. If this has Q1, this will have Q2, this will again have Q3. But the potential difference, if you look at it, it is very obvious, right? Let us suppose this is V. So if this is V, what is the potential difference between these 2 points? Potential difference between these 2 points is also V. And these are the 2 points which are basically connecting these 2 capacitors. This capacitor as well as this capacitor. I mean, this diagram is very similar to this. I mean, drawing it like this is very similar to drawing it like this. Both mean the same. So that means these 2 points are basically what is managing all the 3 capacitors. Therefore, the potential difference across each of them is the same as the potential difference across these 2 points. Right? So in this case, we can say that what is the total charge of the circuit? Q. So the total charge of the circuit will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. That is the charge stored in capacitor 1 plus capacitor 2 plus capacitor 3. So what would be the charge stored in capacitor 1? It would be nothing but Q is equal to CV, we know that. So it will be C1 into V plus C2 into V plus C3 into V. And what would be the net total charge in the circuit? It will be C equivalent into V, right? Because for the entire circuit also, the net potential difference is V. So from this we can say C equivalent is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. That means if the capacitors are arranged in parallel combination, then the total capacitance or the equivalent capacitance of the circuit is the sum of the individual capacitance. That is equivalent capacitance for a parallel combination. I am so sorry, this should be parallel. Is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 till Cn. So here also we can substitute this circuit with somewhat like this. Instead of these three capacitors, I can just write C equivalent connected to this source of battery. Right? So I hope you understood the series and parallel combination of capacitors. Now there are a hell lot of problems that you need to solve to have more clarity on this. Now we will look at some problems and I'll just tell you the approach to solve for equivalent capacitance in a circuit. Because you will face many such problems, numerical problems as you go through this chapter. You will have capacitors attached here and there in the circuit and you will have to calculate the equivalent capacitance. So let us solve few now. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.